This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, good morning. It is the Morning Drive on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz, the fine co-host of Tech Talk, Mike Gustafson. Weighed in on my line. He said that they looked at an NBA mock draft yesterday from ESPN, and that had Toppin going as the 46th player. That would be mid-second round.
Yeah.
So
the other thing that factors in that would make it a bonus for him is, or it's not bonus, that's not the right word, that would make sense for him to stay is there's no guarantee he's going to end up in the second round. Or, I mean, it's going to end up in the NBA when you're drafted in the second round. Right. Yeah, those aren't guaranteed contracts, and so this one is. Yeah. So, he may end up next year playing in the G League. And is that what you want to leave this guaranteed $4 million plus for? Yeah, that's another big question.
Yeah, because the G League ain't much. You know, but I mean, it's nice, but it's not $4 million. And even going and playing in Europe is not $4 million.
I bet you playing overseas, they can make that kind of money. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you have to go live in a foreign country. Some people may love that. Some people may not.
Yeah. I mean, and if you're young and single, it's an exciting thing to do for a few years. And like you said, you probably can make a handsome living. This from the
I just looked it up. The average NBA G League player makes a base salary of around $40,500 for a 5 to 6 month season. Yeah.
Yeah, I had 50 in my head, but so it's.
The earning varies significantly based on some players with two-way contracts and guys that make it up for a little bit with the NBA team.
This person said, pretty much agreeing with you, what you had to say. I think you're going to agree with this. I don't see JT Toppin and his game translating to the NBA unless he can drastically improve his outside shooting. That might be why he comes back for his senior year.
Yeah, I think he has to improve his face-up game. And the NBA is just not played with a ton of guys playing with their back to the basket. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to stretch the floor. He can obviously run the floor with his athleticism and do a lot of great things that way. But you have to be able to pull up and hit shots from the outside. So that's obviously an area where you want to see him improve.
Yeah. This report from Dan in Dallas, he says he'll be at the game Saturday to give Raider power for the Red Raiders.
In Orlando, also.
In Orlando.
That's
yes,
cool.
Yes.
Enjoy.
And Dan in Dallas, I think, is going to be a permanent Dan in Lubbock at some point in time here in the next few months.
Okay.
So, well, I mean, it'd be nice to have another citizen, another fan. Right. It won't be the same as Dan in Dallas, Dan in Lubbock.
Just this information that Dan wanted everybody to know.
Well, I think it's okay. I don't know. I don't have the exact move date, but I mean, I think
you don't. You're not going to tell us.
I don't have it. I don't have it.
But
I think it's coming soon. I don't think he minds that leaking out. Somebody wants to know. This is cute. Where is JT regarding graduation hours? I have no idea. He may be right there, or he may be, a million miles away. All I know is he's getting $4.3 million to be here. So I think he's
4.3.
I think that's what it is. I think it's 4.3.
Oh, okay.
I think that's.
I hadn't heard the 0.3 part.
Yeah, I know. That's that extra decimal point is.
I think he modeled that after us.
I have no idea whether you are accurate or not with your little snide comment there about his education.
Well, I don't know.
level.
I just don't know. I don't.
Well, when you say, "Oh, that's cute," I mean that is clearly a shot.
Well, it's not a shot at him. It's a shot at the. It's like.
But it seems seems unfair. If you have no idea where he is graduation wise, it seems unfair.
I'm not taking a shot at him. I just thought it was. It's like that's. Well, that's a side. That's part of it.
I would assume the texter's point was if he's about to graduate, that would also get you to the point where he's like, "Nah, I need to move on." But if he's like, "You know what? I only have 8 more hours left to graduate. I might as well stick for another year and graduate."
Well, and here's the other thing though too is if he's graduating, all right, then. He's going to take grad school classes, and I'm not saying those are easy by any stretch of the imagination because I've never taken them. But that schedule is different than, the going to school part, getting your undergrad. Mm-hmm. And again, the big deal is where else are you going to make $4.3 million? Or heck, next year it might be 4.5.
I mean, you usually don't go backwards, especially if you win a second straight or a second Big 12 Player of the Year title.
Yeah, I mean, and what if you make it to the Final Four and you feel like, man, we still got a team here. We still got a lot in the tank. We're adding guys. Want to see if we can cut down nets. And then who knows if you cut down nets, all of them, then you might go, I've done all I can do here.
Yeah,
but I can make another $4.3 million here. It goes a long ways. It goes a long ways. 6:38 this morning here on the morning drive. Your thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. But we got a lot of season left here in this one, so no reason to kind of advance it and try to worry about next year.
So the question I have is, at this point, have we given up on Christian Anderson coming back?
Is he a first round pick?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I think all the thoughts are that he would be. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be hard to say to him, "Hey, there's a lot for you to gain by coming back if you're going to be a first round pick," because that's a 2-year guarantee, and maybe more money, and then you have success, and then we're talking a lot more money, exponentially. So we shall see. But one thing's for sure, you got a talented basketball team.
No doubt about that.
And it's fun. They're fun to watch, and there's a whole lot of season left for this team. So it's really, really cool. We will have Tech basketball Saturday as they take on UCF. No midweek this week. You'll hear from Coach Grant McCaslin Thursday night. Red Raider basketball with Grant McCaslin here on Double T 97.3 from 6 until 7.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
It's Tuesday, January the 27th, 2026. With this day in sports history, here is Jeff McGuire.
1956 is where we get started today. Jim Reed sets a Texas Tech record with 27 rebounds in a 102-85 win over Eastern New Mexico for the second of 7 straight victories. That's a lot of rebounds.
He was I never saw him play, but he was a great player at Texas Tech.
1969. Chuck Noll is named the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, youngest coach in NFL history at the time.
We didn't get to this. Maybe we can get to this at some point in time with regard to the hiring of Mike McCarthy by Pittsburgh. But will he have the same success as Noll, as and the other two, Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin? And by that I mean, will he win a Super Bowl?
I mean, odds say no.
Yeah.
But, I mean, will they hit on a quarterback? That's the biggest question.
That's the biggest question.
1 year later, in 1970, in the NFL draft, Louisiana Tech quarterback Terry Bradshaw is the number 1 pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have a feeling that marriage would go very well. Terry Bradshaw and Chuck Noll. 1982, Philadelphia Phillies trade shortstop Larry Boa and infielder Ryne Sandberg to the Chicago Cubs for second baseman Ivan DeJesus.
Ivan DeJesus that was thought to be just an absolute home run for the Phillies, but man, it turned out to be like a grand slam for the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah. Sandberg was a great one.
2013 in the Australian Open men's tennis. Novak Djokovic wins the Open-era record 4th Australian Open crown, beating Andy Murray of Scotland 6-7, 7-6, 6-3, 6-2. Gentlemen, it is National Chocolate Cake Day.
Just chocolate cake, right?
Chocolate cake.
It's pretty good. Jamie, you're a big fan of the chocolate cake?
I like chocolate cake.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, former Red Raider fireballer John McMillan, 28 today. And broadcasting sliding extraordinaire Chris Collinsworth is 67.
Are you not a fan
of his sliding into the shot on every game he does? Watch any of his openings. Like, it starts off as the one shot, and as they pan out, his chair slides to the right, so he gets into the shot.
Okay, I had never noticed that, but okay.
I'm right there.
Yeah, there's like video compilations of all of them from a season. It's kind of funny. I'm not a fan. He's fine. It takes an awful lot for me to be bothered by a broadcaster. Usually I have to work with them for like 3 hours a day for 5 days. That's when I get annoyed by them the most.
I really like him.
I like him too.
I think he's really good.
And on this day, 1967, not a good day.
Not a good day.
Launchpad fire during Apollo program testing at Cape Canaveral, Florida, kills astronauts Gus Grissom. Why am I stumbling over my tongue on things I know? Edward H. White Jr. and Robert B. Chaffee. Investigation indicated that a faulty electrical wire inside the Apollo 1 command module was the probable cause of the fire in a 100% oxygen environment. The astronauts, the first Americans to die in a spacecraft, had been participating in a simulated launch of Apollo 1, scheduled for next month. I'm going to go ahead and warn everybody. There's another one coming here pretty quick.
Yeah.
And
tomorrow.
It's the only video of those that I can't watch. I just can't. It's this day in sports history.
All right, that is this day in sports history. Thoughts, comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line, go to doublet973.com. Let's see here. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Until the window is closed, if you find the right judge, you can go play G League or overseas for 2 to 3 years and then petition to be able to return to your college team and resume your college career.
That's a great point. Great point.
I don't know that you might be damaged goods by then, in terms of, not much tread on the tire or, injuries or things like that. So,
how did game number 1 go for the Alabama kid?
I think he got 13 points, okay. But they lost.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, he's playing, and I just don't see how that's going to change. With any judge.
I'm right there with you.
At this point in time, I just don't see that. I just don't see that changing. So we shall see. The Dallas Cowboys made some moves yesterday with regard to their assistant coaches. They fired 3 of them. This is on the heels of a new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker. I guess you would assume you get a new boss, and he's going to want to bring in his people. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And to be just quite honest, none of these guys are, resonate just because in the NFL, it seems like your assistant coaches, once you get past the coordinators, unless you know them as a former player or have some kind of, internal knowledge, usually they're just kind of names on the paper, right? It just seems like. But one just jumped off the page on me, and I didn't know he was there. But David Overstreet II was part of the Cowboys organization until yesterday. He was the secondaries and cornerbacks coach. His dad was David Overstreet, the great running back who, met an untimely demise, killed in a car accident shortly after David Overstreet II was born.
Okay.
And he was a great player for Oklahoma back in the day, and played for the Dolphins. And I remember him more from college than I do from the NFL, just because he had a terrific college career. Yeah, so his son was a little over a year old when David Overstreet was killed, but he played for Barry Switzer, and he was a halfback, and he was in that wishbone offense. So he touched the ball a lot, and played for the Sooners in the late 70s into I think it was just the late 70s, because he was a first-round draft pick in 1981. So he played through the 1980 season, and those were big Oklahoma years. I mean, heck, you kind of look at almost any year with Oklahoma, and they had big years. They're in the 70s and 80s and 90s and all that. This from Robert. I'm old enough to remember Collinsworth as a wide receiver for the Bengals. Absolutely. He was a terrific wide receiver. He played at Florida.
Didn't he punt too? Am I thinking of somebody different? I feel like I've always heard them talk about that. I did not know that. Or I don't ever remember watching him play, but I feel like I've heard them talk about that.
I want to say, since you bring it up, I'm going to say I think you're right about that. But I also think he did that in college.
Yeah,
but,
maybe that's what they were referring to, not the NFL.
But I think you're right on that.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
They can choose the team that might be best suited for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's most likely what would happen with those two.
Yeah.
I would guess it would be a surprise if either one of them ended up making a roster.
Okay. 7:10 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Good morning. But it's only 7:15. But at 7:45 we will have the boom, boom, boom. And at 7:30 we will have Jamie's question of the day. All right. We'll have Lady Raider basketball on the air for you tomorrow. They take on Iowa State, team that's 4-5 in Big 12 play, but they've won their last two. They played Arizona the other day on Saturday. And get this about Arizona. They started with 10 players. 5 fouled out, okay? So that leaves them with 5, right? Then 1 got injured. That left them with 4. So Arizona played with 4 players for the last 2:04 of that basketball game.
Wow.
They lost, okay? That is crazy, though, isn't it?
Not something that you expect to see, that's for certain.
No, not at any level. But I just thought that was kind of nuts. In 9th grade, we had that happen to us twice with our 9th grade basketball team. That we were just awful. But we had one game where a couple guys got fouled out, and then one guy got thrown out for he said something to the referee that he shouldn't have. And so we played with a 2-2 defense the rest of the way. Mm-hmm. And it's come as no shock to you that we got smoked.
It happens.
I think I hit a hook shot in that game from the baseline, though. One of my rare contributions to the offense for that super fine basketball team.
Way to go, man.
So
Good stuff.
it's always something there. Let's see. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that of the mobile app. Here's my question for you. Texas Tech alumni baseball game on Saturday. Still scheduled for 1 o'clock first pitch?
Yes.
39 degrees. Do we know some of the former guys that are coming back to play?
I have not been given that list.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You looking forward to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So you can get tickets for that, and should be a lot of fun. And the baseball season's right. I mean, we're getting to the point where it's darn near right around the corner, and there'll be
right. I would definitely expect some current major league guys. I would definitely expect a lot of guys that are still in the minor leagues, and then some other guys that maybe aren't in baseball anymore, but are still really good former Red Raiders that you'll enjoy seeing.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Around town, things like that. Mm-hmm. Has anybody asked you to be a base coach or anything like that?
Nobody has asked me to do anything. I am not an alumni base coach. So.
Well, I didn't know. Maybe they remember you from back in the. Hey, Jamie, it'd be good to have you, sit in the dugout with us, or be third base coach, or be a pitching coach and take the guys out from time to time, or go sit out in the bullpen with them, or something along those lines. No, none of that.
No.
Texas Tech will be participating in the Shriners College Showdown that will take place February 13th through the 15th with teams from Arkansas, Oklahoma State, TCU, and Vanderbilt. And so looking forward to that. You can get your tickets right now at collegebaseballseries.com. These games will be played at Globe Life Field there in Arlington. And so you'll have an opportunity to go and check that out and in the comfort of Globe Life, because I'm assuming that the roof will be closed for that.
I think the purpose of them, having that event is to guarantee that the weather is good. So, meaning that it's good inside, so they can play the games. Yeah, I don't think there are any chance that it'll be open.
Okay. Up first is Oklahoma. That's on Friday, February the 13th. That's an 11 a.m. first pitch. And then Saturday, they take on Vanderbilt, again, 11 a.m. first pitch. And on Sunday, it's a 2:30 first pitch against Arkansas. Which of the three teams do you think will be the best next year in college baseball?
I think Arkansas is, if you look at some of the preseason rankings, they're inside the top 10. So I would expect them to be the most difficult challenge of the three.
So, and then, and Oklahoma's no snoozer, right?
No, Oklahoma should have one of the best pitching staffs in the country. So they'll definitely make it tough on you. No question. I'm not certain that they're, I think in the one preseason ranking that has come out, they were just outside the top 25.
So you think we'll see a lot of pitchers used in this series just because it's the first of it and you're just trying to kind of ease guys in? You're thinking 2, 3, 4 innings at max.
I would, if you're talking about a starter, I think that you would expect them to go. If they're pitching well, they can go 4 or 5 innings.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to run them out there for 120 pitches, but 80 pitches, yeah, you could see that. Even in some of the scrimmages, we've seen them go 3-4 innings now. So I think they would definitely let them do that for those games once they get started. Again, like I said, you're not going to look for a guy to go 8 complete or anything like that. But to get through, if they're throwing well, no, that's the difference, right? If it's about the number of pitches they throw. If they're taking a bunch of pitches to get out of every inning, it may be only 3 innings because they, their pitch count is up to 78 after 3 innings or something. You would assume if you're throwing 78 pitches in 3 innings, you're probably not having a ton of success.
Yeah.
But I I think there's some sort of a pitch count early on in the season. I just don't think it's quite that low.
And then do you think the position players, do you think he uses a lot of guys, or is it just dictated by the game? If things are going well, just kind of go with what you got, or if it's not going so well, you just kind of shift people around a little bit?
I think he's going to try to win these games. I mean, those are key RPI games for you, and you're going to put your best 8 out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
8 or 9
exhibition
out there,
stuff
right?
here. I realize
Yeah,
that.
these matter, and you'll have some games later where you feel like you can, some of the young guys, or you can get their feet wet there. But I think he's going to. This is not, hey, we want everybody to touch the field at Globe Life Field this weekend. No, we want to win as many games as we can.
We're not looking to just get you in just so that you can say you played on a big league.
I mean, you would
ball
assume
field.
that you're the underdog in all 3 games. You got to put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
Right? Vanderbilt's another one that's ranked inside the top 25. Like I said, Oklahoma just outside, and Arkansas a top 10 team. You know, you're coming off of 2 straight years of not making the postseason. So you got off to a terrible start last year. No way around it. 1-5 through the first 2 weeks, and you never really, could get your head above water. And so I think you're doing anything you can to win these games this weekend. That's the most important thing.
And he likes playing a tough schedule, so the thought of patty caking it to begin things is just not in Coach Tadlock's DNA, is it?
Yeah, there's not a lot of that. And last year you really didn't have any of that early on in the season, and you will get a little bit of that. Again, once you play those 3 games and then head to Edinburgh to play against UTRGV and then come back, then you'll have a month full of games at Dan Law Field at Rip Griffin Park. So you give yourself an opportunity to kind of get off to a better start.
All right, Jamie's question of the day is next here this morning on the Morning Drive. It is 7:24 and some change. A reminder, we'll have college hoops for you tonight on 100.7 The Score, featuring Nebraska, the number 5 team in the country, taking on Michigan. That'll be at 5:45 tonight on 100.7 The Score.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, guys, my question for you today is this. Which Red Raider from last year's team, not named David Bailey, do you think will have the best NFL career? Could be a guy that left for the draft, or is leaving for the draft, or a guy still on the team.
Oh, so it could be a future guy.
Which guy from the 2025 Red Raider football team will have the best NFL career?
All right, I'm going to give you a guy that's going in this year and a guy that's coming back that I think could be really good moving forward. Can I do that?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to say Lee Hunter is going to be a guy that's going to be make an impact and be really, really good at his spot along that defensive line. And I think that coming up, when he comes out next year, that Terrence Carter will be a guy that a lot of NFL teams will take a look at, and that he'll have success as a tight end in the National Football League.
Okay.
I don't know how Jacob Rodriguez won't be the answer to this question when it comes to playing linebacker in the NFL. There's so much about him that parallels Zach Thomas, and he's a better version of what Zach was in college. Yes, I have a love affair with that man, and it's a little weird to say that out loud. However, there's a reason that he got all the accolades this past year, because he's really good at what he does. And the NFL is always looking for linebackers that can do that.
I like your answer, Jeff. I know he's not the highest rated Red Raider heading into the draft last year or this upcoming season, but I I agree with you. And the comparison to Zach is fair enough in that a guy that just makes plays, but people have doubts about him. And I think Jacob benefited from playing behind great defensive tackles and a great defensive line overall. But that dude can make plays, and there's instincts involved there. There's a skill set involved there. There's smarts of being able to read and figure out what an offense is trying to do. That was going to be my answer. Okay, Jacob Rodriguez. Two others that I would throw out there. Number one for me, and I think Lee Hunter's a great answer too. Okay, I think Lee Hunter's a great answer too. Number one for me would be Bryce Pollock. When you are that good at covering guys, those guys are hard to find. With his length and his ability, I think he can have a long career in the NFL as a corner. Playing for whoever he ends up playing for. But the other one to me is Romello Height. Guys that can get after the quarterback, they usually get paid a lot of money. Mm-hmm. and Romello Height can do that. He's overshadowed because of how good David Bailey is, and we get it, understand. But man, I think Romello Height is a terrific player in his own right. So I also wouldn't Anthony Holmes Jr., who's coming back for you, that's another guy I think could be just as much of an impact guy as Lee Hunter is.
All right, so if you have a thought on that, hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to the Double T 97.3 mobile app, presented by Happy State Bank to weigh in.
I worry a little bit about Terrence Carter. Is he big enough to play the tight end position at the next level? Or
has it become a hybrid position for him?
So who's his comp in the NFL?
I don't have an answer for you on that.
Yeah, unlike an undersized tight end, I don't think he's quite fast enough to be a wide receiver. I think he's a great college player. I just wonder how he translates.
Yeah, that's
to
fair.
The next level.
That's fair. I think he also makes plays.
He does. No doubt. I think he's a great player. Charlie Ward was also a great college player. And he
basketball or football? Yeah, both.
He was pretty average at basketball.
Yeah, I was just kidding there.
But I'm saying that sometimes college players their game doesn't translate, and a lot of people thought Zach Thomas's wouldn't, and guess what? It did.
Yeah,
and maybe the same thing is for Terrence Carter,
to the tune of a gold jacket.
Yeah, no question. Where do you think Jacob Rodriguez goes? In what round? Is he a third round guy?
I think that's what the mock drafts have is the third.
This person says Jacob is my answer. Wouldn't mind him going to the Cowboys in the first or the second. Yeah, you don't want to. It's not going to be the first. I don't think, unless something really changes.
Yeah,
they need help on defense. If they spent every draft pick on defense, I don't know that would be a bad thing.
I don't know that you would go there with the first round pick and be thrilled with the Cowboys' choices, though.
Yeah.
If he's graded as a third round player and the Cowboys take him in the first round, aren't you going to say, could we have got him in a round or two?
Sure.
Yeah.
What are we doing here, Jerry? But then
that's a standard question around here as a Cowboy fan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This person said some mock drafts say Lee Hunter could go 22nd to the Chargers.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet. That would pay some bills. Going in the first round.
For him, yeah.
Yeah. I think that would pay some bills. I mean, you would hope that would pay some bills. 7:39 here this morning on the morning drive. Take thoughts and comments. Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that or the mobile app. Okay.
your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
3 of 3 on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We come to you from the First United Bank studio. Take your thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line, Visual Edge IT hotline. Just to kind of tag on to the Senior Bowl, which will be Saturday in Mobile, Alabama. The Texas Tech participants include Caleb Douglas, Reggie Virgil, Lee Hunter, Romello Height, and Jacob Rodriguez. This could be a big week for those guys because they'll have workouts in front of scouts and stuff like that. And then the game itself, but I think the getting time is during the week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where you have a chance to maybe show out a little bit and show up a little bit. I mean, and for some scouts, it may be, okay, I've seen this guy play. He's kind of confirming what I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. Or he still's got a little work to do. And this is what I'm going to tell his people. This is how he can improve himself. And they may learn something about somebody's motor, i.e. Jacob Rodriguez, that they go, yeah, it may be worth moving up a little bit, his draft stock, just because of the intangibles that he brings, in addition to his skill set. So that's all going on. And then, of course, the East-West Shrine game is tonight. There at the Star in Frisco. Have you been to a game at the Star in Frisco?
No, sir. Just this Big 12 Media Days.
Just Big 12 Media Days. But it's impressive, right?
Oh, sure.
I mean, it's something nice.
Pretty cool that they get to play high school games.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking. I mean, all that. I heard some discussion yesterday on Double T 97.3. I think it was getting ready for work. The overnight guy. They were bemoaning the fact that NFL stadiums were becoming more and more dome oriented, and I was just like, on one hand, I get it, wow, it's not football if you're not sitting out there in the snow. But then I'm like, okay, would I want to sit out in the snow? I mean, truth be told, I don't think we'd want to see a dome over Jones Stadium because we have too many beautiful evenings, in the fall, and the weather doesn't get that extreme in the winter. And summer, I mean, it gets warm. There's no question in August and September, and heck, even into October this year, some of those games were a little warm before the sun went down. But anyway, And Buffalo's building a new stadium. That they're not putting a dome on that thing.
No, they are not. But there's the way that they're putting the covering so the covering covers most of the fans, and so it helps them in regard to you should take on less precipitation in the seats, but over the top of the actual playing field, it's still open.
Still open. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
so they're kind of trying to help the fans, but at the same time embracing what they have with the weather there and the advantage it sometimes gives them. Yeah,
it's just hard, when it's pouring down rain and it's 25 degrees and you're like, okay, what are we doing? I get we're enjoying football and we're enjoying the NFL. It's just sometimes you got to be hardy. I mean, even for the 15,000 fans that went to United Supermarkets Arena on Saturday, battling the elements, because it's one thing to battle the ice like on a day like yesterday, but it's another thing to battle the ice in the snow when it's coming down. And I laughed out loud and I started to text you some names, and I thought, man, I'm just not going to do that. Of people that went to the arena but didn't make it to work yesterday. I thought, nah, that was pretty funny when I heard you talking about that. Going, yeah, there were a lot of people that made it to the game that didn't necessarily make it to work.
Yeah, that called their boss. Yeah, I don't know really if it's really safe to drive.
And then I was I was literally in a parking lot, waiting on a guy to. This is typical of me. I mean, this guy was promoting something, and he's buying some advertising, and I was waiting for him, and he was going to pay me in cash, and so I'm waiting in a parking lot at a restaurant to get the money, and then I see all these people, and I'm like, oh, these people must not have to work today, or they said, like what Jamie was just saying, that, yeah, man, hey boss, I don't know if I can make it in, but yet found their way to an establishment that had cold drinks and hot food.
And every boss yesterday had to play the side of, as you should.
Right.
Okay, if you don't feel comfortable, be safe. Do what you do what you think's best.
Yeah,
so if you think you're going to work from home or whatever, do what you think's best. You can't be that guy that says, come on, dude, stop being a sissy.
Right.
Okay, and then they crash, and then
you feel bad.
Then you feel terrible, or there's a lawsuit coming. So you say, okay, we'll do what you feel comfortable, fully well knowing that if they really wanted to be there, if it meant something to them, they would be there.
Yeah.
But that's just life.
Yeah, that's just the way it is, right?
Yeah. Like when somebody invites you to their wedding and you're like, oh man, got this work thing. If you really wanted to be there, you probably could tell work.
Yeah.
I got this wedding I'm invited to. I'm going to skip that. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Now I'm being called a snitch. I didn't call out any license plate numbers or any people specifically. I just, saw a lot of pick 'em up trucks at this place of business and went, okay, couldn't get to work, but you can get to the bar. Okay, got it. All right, I saw this and I thought this was interesting, and I just get your take on it over here in the next couple of minutes, and then at 8:15 as well. The question, this is from The Athletic. What is your biggest takeaway from the 2025 college football season?
That a team that was not a perennial blue blood, that's had a football history that's been less than mediocre, because of being able to use the transfer portal and because of being able to use NIL funds and all the above, just ran through college football when going undefeated, with a great coach, by the way, as well. Don't let's not act like that didn't factor in, but was able to just run through college football and make it look easy.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
That's one thing. Somebody else has included that in his take, but had something else that I thought was kind of interesting.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.